All right. So, looks sort of like Sasha Banks is not going to go to WWE. I was really hoping that she would. I thought that maybe they got her in time. She'd make a little, Rumble appearance. Or, say, she showed, like, they got her signed in a decent amount of time. Because let's be honest, we sort of believe that Bayley's going to be the one to win the Royal Rumble. But say she don't. Say she don't win the Royal. Well, this works out in both scenarios. She does win the Royal Rumble. Now she got to pretty much go against Damage Control. EO, Dakota, even though I know she still can't, I was like, she still ain't wrestling right now, which I guess maybe she make a blind appearance. I was like, I don't know where her rehab stuff is at. But, Asuka and Kyrie. All right, cool. So, of course, numbers game, that whole thing. She's battling, or whatever, like that. And, I was like, she got her chance at WrestleMania, and during that whole scuffle, they try to come out and they helping EO, and it looks like there's nothing that could be done. And maybe that's when you did hear Sasha Banks music pop up, and then the whole crowd is just gonna go crazy, and then she basically going in there to start whooping ass and help Bayley. That's one way. Now I was like, would that be a proper way to get a pop out of it? Because it's not the pop of like a Royal Rumble or something like that. But I do think it's still a big enough pop. If she just, where it's not during the match. It's at the beginning where it just like they're just like poking fun at her, like look, I got my gang. Where's your help at? Blah blah blah. And then they play Sasha Banks music. Then that could be cool, And then that way, I was like, you still get the big pop, and then she can start off her year. Or Bayley, I was like, doesn't win the Royal Rumble, but say she still's in it with Damage Control, and say somehow Asuka and Kyrie get the tag team title, then leading up to WrestleMania, she's like, it's like cool. You want the match? I was like, you can have the match. Maybe you just need to find a partner. She just scrambling for a partner. Of course, we'll probably know it'll probably be like the same way they did Randy Orton, where we knew it was gonna be Randy Orton, but then they do stuff to have us partner, even though we figure it out. And then that's the big pop at WrestleMania, and they win the titles that way. I'm just saying, bring that whole thing back. I was like, but look like that might be a pipe dream. I mean, anything can still happen. I was like, she's in reports talking to AEW. I was like, maybe she is within AEW by the time I release this video. But either way, it also maybe don't seem like it's a permanent thing at AEW. Like they ain't no telling how long that if she does a contract, or she just do like appearances where she's just like, or maybe she just like, I'm gonna wrestle the whole year AEW, but that don't stop her from, I don't know how it's gonna set up or stuff like that. I don't know of a. I was like, I guess on one hand, because they're saying that she wants, I guess, the money of like Charlotte Flair, but they don't. They're a ways away on negotiations, which I mean, that's how everything goes in sports and sort of in like that higher tier life anyway. So there's no telling of what can be pulled at the last second that it's just like, oh no, she's gonna go. She's really close to AEW. Boom, nope, we're gonna pull the trigger, give her what she wants. Maybe that happens. Who knows? But I was like, I guess if she wants to do, because I was like, when she went over like to do the whole thing with New Japan, then she got injured. I think if she would have been healthy, she would have already did her appearance in AEW, which I think would have gave her the leverage of when it's time to negotiate. She could be like, see, look, what I did for that over there, what I did over there, I'm worth it. Whereas, like, her coming off injury, it's like anything else. Kind of hard to get your money when you're coming off injury, even though it's a little easier than, I guess, like, other sports. But in saying that, say she does go to AEW. One, she could have that big, huge impact. Not like CM Punk, but the next level adjacent to it. Because I'm like, that would be a big get on the woman's side. That I think that's bigger than anybody else outside of CM Punk that they're gonna get. Because it's like she's one of the four horsewomen from a main staple You know, hell, you could take what AEW talked about of their 4 pillars. That's what she was in the women's division. So to get her is a big get. And if you do it right, that could do wonders, not just for the company in general, whole, but also their women's division. Because now I feel like you have to add a pressure of being like, we got to put her on TV. We got to do these matches. We have to do this. Otherwise, if she comes in there and it just doesn't work, then I was like, that's more of a bad look than I think I was like, it's not as bad of a look as Jade leaving, because Jade is one of y'all own that you basically built up, and she's like, with her first chance, she's like, all right, I'm gone. That's wild. But the fact that it's like, if you don't treat somebody who's established that way, where you're like, it's okay. It's like, it's one thing that you don't probably give the proper stuff to someone. Maybe you should have built up, or you built up and you didn't fully take advantage of it. Sometimes like that little bit happens of things, where somebody else goes somewhere else and, to get a little bit better. But when somebody else comes through, that's like the main thing, and you ain't willing to accommodate, because it's not like just accommodating to Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks, whatever. It's like, yeah, but I was like, accommodating to her helps everybody else out. Like if she has matches against Saraya, you got that whole backstory of the last time that Saraya, aka Paige, made her comeback. Sasha Banks is the one that took her out, not purposely, but took her out. But dude, that's how you can play a story. That's already a story right there. Her versus Britt Baker. That's pretty much one of these like dream matches that nobody would have thought of. So you got that. I was like, you got Toni Storm and Hikaru Shida. I mean, like, Shida. I probably butchered the first name. But you have those two as well that's been in or out of the top of the main scene as well. I don't think she had any bouts with Toni in WWE or whatever. But I get like her character play along with Sasha Banks. It would be really good. And Shida and Sasha would just have like a really good match. But I mean, that's other people as well too that you could, that's in the women's, where it's like, of course it's like Chris Statlander and stuff like that. Julia Hart, what she's doing. But I was like, it helps build up other people as well. That's because I was like, if you sort of really look at not just the, Sasha and all the other horsewomen as well, they do a really good job of putting other people over. So I wouldn't doubt that she wouldn't want to have some younger people and build matches with them. The thing is, would you let her? Now, I was like, also in that, she has to win the title pretty early. Yeah, you don't have it be like, within the first 2 months or something like that. But it needs to be something where we get a good idea that's like, okay, in about 4 months, she's going to be the champion. Because I was like, she ain't doing no Daniel Bryanson thing where he just coming in and he just want to have great matches. I was like, no, this is a CM Punk thing where it's like, you're going to eventually have to put the title on him so that he can elevate everything else and everybody else around him. Or at least in theory. Now, I don't think this would, but popping up in the newly formed TNA. That'd be cool if TNA does it. Maybe they can they throw all the money at her, being like, all right, cool, for at least this one part, we gonna give her all the money. But I mean, she could do that from AEW as well, to be honest. Go over there, do something with Trinity, do a whole thing. But I was like, to me, I was like, WWE doesn't need Sasha, but it'd be great if she was there. It'd be cool. And I think, unlike the men's that is really top heavy, I don't think like the women finally got depth, but I don't think they're top heavy. They're still like it's like everybody gets mad and joke about like Bianca winning and stuff, but I'm like, in reality, there's not that many people. You talk about Charlotte, there's not that many people. Like you sort of seen that here with Rhea, where it's like she hadn't had that many fights. I was like, who is she really supposed to really? So I'm like, they got a little bit better depth or whatever. Because they used to have depth, but now they actually got good depth. It's not just like, oh, there's like 15 women here. It's like, yeah, but like 7 of them we don't really think of anything. Now there's actually like good depth where it's like, okay, cool. After like your top like 3 or like 5, there's still like a good 6, 7. You're like, okay, I can see them getting the title. They're not gonna get it, but I see them get the title. On the other hand, with AEW, I think they're not top heavy. But they got a whole bunch more good depth than WWE. But they just don't have to top heavy. You really don't got like, I want to say like 4 or 5 that I'm like okay, and which we sort of see the title go through them anyway. So, but TNA, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know who anybody is. So that's why I'm like, WWE didn't need Sasha. Sasha doesn't need, or Mercedes Mone doesn't need WWE. TNA needs Mercedes Mone. 100%. AEW needs Mercedes Mone. But, Mercedes don't need either one of them. But also AEW doesn't need, it's really weird because I was like, they need something big like that, especially on the women's side, something huge like that. But also, since you haven't really developed too many people in your own section, it's also like, well, once she gets there, she is going to have the spotlight. Are y'all going to do it right? To where it's like you're able to give her the spotlight that shines on everybody else, or is she just gonna have the spotlight and everybody else just still is in the shadows? I was like, what I would like, I was like, I think WWE would be good because I think there's a lot of stuff that went awry, especially towards the end. But like I was like not just towards the end, but also like her title reign and stuff like that, or when she should have won the titles, never happened properly. Like when she came back, she immediately turned heel on Becky Lynch. Becky beat her just 2 times in a row, Hell in a Cell, and it's just like done. Then it wasn't until like it was with Bayley that they was able to do stuff during the pandemic, but that's also during the pandemic time. Then when she did win the title, she pretty much lost it not too long after that either. You thought they were going to do 2 titles and the tag team titles, and it sort of fell apart. But so there's that. Then the whole other stuff after that. So, but I would like her on AEW as well. Just because I would just like to see what that scene is. I like to see what she does really outside of WWE. Because she can always go back. There's no time limit on that. Whereas, there might be a time limit to do stuff on the AEW. And that's more on AEW. But anyway, where do you think Sasha Banks should go? I was like, do you think that she should, like, what do you think? Where she should go? Where should she hop in? What would be the best place for her? Let me know. See y'all a little bit later. Peace.